Hello, welcome to my refried beans and enchilada video. Let's see. We're going to put our heat on about medium. And this is my first time making them, so we're going to learn together. Let's see. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'll let that heat up. And while that's heating up, I've got some pinto beans, and they're just out of the can. You can make them fresh if you want, but here's what they look like. And they're called pinto beans. And what I did was I mashed some up with a mashed potato masher to get them started, because it takes a little bit to get them mashed, and I didn't want you to have to sit through all that. So we're going to add some red onions, a small red onion. Just get that softened, and let's see, we're going to add a teaspoon of salt, kosher salt. And some pepper, maybe a half a teaspoon of pepper. And I got 1 garlic clove. Whoops, man overboard. I usually buy these out of the can, but I thought, you know, I'd like to see what these taste homemade. So I got some jalapeno chopped up real small, and put that in. If you don't have a fresh one, you can use the jarred pickled ones. They work good too. I put them in the canned ones anyhow. And let's see, let's start putting the beans in. And you just take your wooden spoon and smash them up a little. And I'm going to leave some of these whole, because I like a little bit whole. We're going to add the cumin. Doesn't matter which way you put these in. I just forgot to put this in. And I think I'm going to use a half a teaspoon of cumin. We'll see how that tastes, and then we'll try it, see. It's smelling really good. And then we're going to put the mushed up ones in there that are already mushed up for us. And like I said, I just used a masher and mashed them up. And we might have to add a little water to this, I was thinking. So I got a little water here just in case. Because once you mash them, they kind of get mushy. I don't know if you can see them, but they look pretty good. So far, so good. I want to get everything incorporated, and I'm going to give that a little taste just to see where the seasoning's at. Good. Yeah, it's real good. I like the ones in the cans. People say, oh, don't eat those ones in the cans, they're awful, but I doctor them up a little bit. I put some cheese on them and some jalapenos in them and heat them up really good, and they taste good to me, but I thought I'd try some homemade ones. So these just need to cook for a few more minutes and get all those flavors marinated together in there. they're crushing up a little too as I stir them. And I hope I don't get any bad comments that I'm not a professional Mexican cook here. But I love Mexican food, so I make things the way I like it. So this isn't probably a traditional recipe. It's just something I thought would be good. I think I'm going to put a little bit more water. So that was probably about a half a cup of water total. Yeah, that's making it a little bit nicer. And that only took us a few minutes. And I'd say it's just about done. And give it another taste just to check for the seasonings, see how it is. Really good. Ooh, so spicy too. Of course, I left the seeds in the jalapenos, but you can take them out if you don't like it too hot. I think it needs a little bit more salt though. I'm going to give it another quarter teaspoon. So I put a half and then a quarter. Now let's see. Yeah, I'd say that little extra salt helped it good. And the fresh garlic, really good. Well, I think I'm going to let those cook for a few minutes. I'm going to take you over here to where I'm at the enchiladas started. Basically, you get I think this is a 8-ounce can of just tomato sauce. And I've already put some salt and pepper in there because I had my salt and pepper down there, so I just did it ahead of time. I'm going to put a dash of onion powder, a dash of garlic powder, and I'm using a pinch. I'm using the pinch measurement. And I'm going to put a pinch of red pepper flakes. And I don't cook that ahead of time. And like I said, I put a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. Let me just check my refried beans real quick. Turn those down. Okay, and the reason why I have it in this pan is because we gotta take your tortilla shells and put them in there, and then you want to have a plate. I'll use this plate to make it a little easier. You put both sides. It doesn't have to be covered perfect, just cover it. That way it doesn't get real hard. And then the hamburger mix that I'm going to use is just hamburger that it's like just the meat from the taco mix. I put it in the freezer. And just took some out today to thaw it. And you just give it a little roll. And put it in your pan. And then just do the next one. Same thing. And like I said, you don't have to cover it perfect. Some people don't even cover the inside. And just give it a roll. It's okay to use your fingers. Makes it kind of fun. And you do one. Let me just check on my refried beans. Hang on, bear with me 1 minute. Yeah, they're done and they're smelling so good. Okay. You can pretty much put as much as you want in here. You can fill them up really fat, or you put some of the beans in there. I'm just going to have my beans on the side, but so, oh, made a perfect amount. Let's get all that in there and wrap that up. Okay, and if you just give me a second so I can wash my hands a little. I rinse them off because I got sauce all over them. And then they just look like that, if you can see them okay. And then you can take a little bit, the rest of the sauce there if you want, and put it over the top. And I didn't cook that sauce ahead of time. You don't have to, because it's going to cook in the oven when it bakes. And you don't want to cover the whole shell anyway, because that way you have a little crispy on the outside. And then you just take some Mexican cheese, which is this, it's got a bunch of Monterey Jack, cheddar, queso, and asadero. Put it on the top. Put a lot of cheese. And if you can see that okay, you're going to put a tin foil over the top. Let it bake in the oven for 45 minutes. And on 350, you can take the top off and let the cheese get a little bit crisped up if you want. And let me show you what one of these look like. I made some up ahead of time, and I'm going to show you how I like to eat mine. I made up a whole bunch of goodies to put on there: red onions, tomatoes, shredded lettuce, jalapenos, and some cilantro, and a little sour cream. So you just take a little dollop of sour cream, a couple jalapenos, a couple red onions, some tomatoes. Everything's falling off. And you want to shred your lettuce up pretty small so it looks pretty on there. And then a little cilantro. Well, I like a lot of cilantro. And let me get you a close-up of that so you can see it. It looks delicious. I can't wait to eat it. And of course, here's the refried beans all done. You just put them on the side, and you got a nice little lunch, or you can make them for dinner. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy them. Thank you.